What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit the like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into the real of reality TV. Well, look, it is official. Kenya will not be coming back to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And even though I talked about it for a little bit before and saying I'm not going to say she's not coming back until we've gotten something official, but she definitely had been suspended indefinitely, I wanted to hold off on saying, oh, she's not coming back at all until I got an official statement. But before I get into that, I want to talk about Peter Thomas, who we know was married to Cynthia Bailey for several years. He was one of the house husbands on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. He has been infamous for his businesses, and unfortunately not in a good way. But now it is determined that the government, Uncle Sam, the IRS, has been eyeing him for some time now. And now it's looking like he is going to be facing some criminal charges. And this is actually kind of sad because I never wish anything like this on anyone. But he made a statement on yesterday, and I found it kind of like, because he didn't say a whole lot, but I was just kind of reading between the lines. And now I kind of get it because of what has come out.
In the social media world, including Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc., etc. All right, I'm here to make a statement. My attorney and I have been working on a case for the last 2.5 years now, and then it came in on where I'm putting out this statement. I must have to apologize to my mom, my dad that's passed, and my kids, my friends, immediate family members, and anybody out there that checked for me. I did some wrong that I have to make right. I have to stand up. I have to be accountable. I have to be responsible, and I have to pay my debt. For 2.5 years ago, the IRS started a case that went back 10 years and show that from one struggling business to the next, that I've failed to pay my withholding taxes on time. And at some point when the business wasn't doing well, failed to pay at all. And it's something that I thought I could work out, catch up with, make hold, but the hole got deeper for me. So I deeply regret, and I'm saying this with all sincerity, I deeply regret not to make the IRS withholding tax a priority in my life.
So he went on a little bit longer, but I'm going to end it there. Listen, I don't wish that on anybody, and we know that he has had his infamy with employees, people calling him out, saying that he wasn't paying them. You can owe the IRS money as an individual and even as a business. But to me, he said that they started a case a few years ago that went back 10 years. So to me, it's sounding like tax evasion, not failing to pay taxes, just meaning you filed, you knew you owed the money, they knew what you owed, but you just didn't make the payments. Because let me tell you, there's a whole lot of people that owe the IRS money, but as long as you are in communication with them, you could pay 5 cents on but it's the evasion where you're not even bothering to file. That's what pisses them off even more than somebody or some entity, LLC, S Corp, LLC, individual, whatever, owing money. Because they know that most people don't have it. The government doesn't have it. They don't have the money. We are the government. They get the money from us. So I'm saying a lot of those things to say, even though I don't see any charges in front of me of what he's going through, when I heard him make the statement, to me, it was just sounding like it was something on the criminal side, not even civil. And it definitely wasn't because you owed money. Because nobody's going to get online, make a video saying, I owe my mom an apology, my father, who isn't even here anymore, an apology, because you owe money to the IRS. A lot of people owe money to the IRS, but it to me sounds like tax evasion. But I don't know. He's had a lot of issues with business, and it unfortunately sounds like he just went from one, like he even said in his own words, one struggling business to the next. And rarely does it work out like that. There's no shame in being a great asset to someone else in business. You don't have to have your own. And I unfortunately feel like a lot of people who are Black, they feel that you have to be a boss. Do you know how much responsibility that is? It's cool if you can do that. And even those who are bosses, we go through stuff. We go through ups and downs, trials, struggles, tribulations. That's just a part of life. But if he had been struggling like all those years back, and it doesn't even really sound like, to me, it was just a struggle in terms of businesses and doing well, it's because he's obviously been able to get the assistance of people who support him to invest, people loan him money, becomes maybe silent partners. He's gotten all of these opportunities to come up, and he showcased this lifestyle, so to speak, when he wasn't even really living like that. It just sounds like he was not very responsible with what he had coming in and taking care of what he needed to take care of when he needed to. And if you needed a payment plan or whatever, he could have communicated that with the IRS. So we'll see what comes of it. I'm sorry to hear that he's going through that, but yeah, it's definitely, to me, sounding like some sort of tax evasion situation. But you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And speaking of lawsuits, Kenya, she's allegedly considering taking legal action after it's been announced that she officially won't be filming for the rest of the season 16 after the drama with Brittany Edie, one of the new housewives. So according to the Neighborhood Talk, a source has now told TMZ that she is absolutely not returning for the rest of season 16 after she allegedly showed those explicit images of Brittany at her shop. What's interesting is that the source says Bravo is keeping the door open for a return in the future, but Kenya is also exploring legal options. Apparently, Kenya is not at all pleased with the current situation and feels she's the one being wronged. She feels that she's having safety concerns and the network isn't backing her. So, does she have a leg to stand on? Does she have a case? I don't know. I doubt it. And then even if production knew what she was going to be doing, there is nothing that she could say to say they made her do that at all. And I've been saying continuously, repeatedly, on repeat, that this was just something stupid that she never should have done in her business. And she is now paying the repercussions of that by this going down. And it's a bit embarrassing, especially after she made that video announcing her return to the Real Housewives of season 16, saying that she might be gone with the Win Fabulous, but she isn't going anywhere. Looks like she's been blown away from this season after she made that big announcement. This is just crazy. But I know Nene is probably somewhere snickling and cackling and hee-heeing and ha-haing, because after what Nene went through, not trying to compare the two, but Nene suing the network, and Kenya was talking about how they would never bring Nene back after she sued the network. And now she's talking about possible legal action, allegedly. I'm because I don't know, haven't heard her mention this. And they're saying they're not closing the door to a possible return in the future, but she's exploring her options legally. Oh my gosh, it's sad. Because this is her main source of income. Her and Mark just officially have been divorced. He's been ordered to pay $2,000 in child support a month. And the both of them have been ordered not to disparage either one in front of their daughter. It's crazy. And now that paycheck, that source of income, it is gone. So I don't know. I don't know how well her products are doing. Like I said, highly doubt that it is something that is in comparison to or could be a replacement for the Bravo check that she's been receiving, because a lot of these people who are on shows like this, they utilize the money that they make on these reality shows to fund their business. So yeah, they may make it seem like they're doing really well, but you really don't know the background. You don't know the overhead. You don't know the expenses. And even if they say they're making a lot of money, they could show you screenshots or whatever. Child, let me tell you, people can be whoever they want to be on social media these days. So I don't really believe a whole lot of that people share when it comes to business, because I've just seen too much to know the real. But I digress. Let me know what you think about Peter and his potential tax evasion situation. And what do you think about Kenya officially being fired and exploring her legal options against the network? Guys, thanks so much for being here, liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.